Hi, good morning. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about in producing these videos was not only how to fly, but also how to maintain a Vans RV6 or 6A. And I was hoping that it would take quite some time for me to come up with the maintenance issue to share, but it happened the other day. So part of the normal shutdown routine is when you land, you raise the flaps, taxi in, you lower the flaps for engine shutdown, and that helps get you in and out of the airplane, because it lowers down the flap so you have less area. You can only step on the black area here, because all this in here is doubled, but in here it isn't, so you're not able to step on the flaps. So you lower the flaps so you have less to get out over. And the normal operation of the flaps is this, well, now yellowy discolored tape, which at some point I'm going to replace. It rides underneath these wing panels, or wing skins. And that's normal, up and down, underneath. The other day when I taxied in and shut down, something happened. I'm assuming it was me. I don't have any memory of doing it, but there is something going on that does require attention, because the plane is now grounded until it's fixed. So what happened is the flaps extended far too much. So as you can see, the flap, which normally rides underneath the wing skin, is actually out over the wing skin. This flap is down about 10 degrees further than the one on the right side, and well, it's filthy, excuse the dirt, but this plane is tied down outside. I don't have a hanger. So anyway, you can see that this is which normally should be underneath is not underneath, and even over right here it's actually pushing up the wing skin, and it's putting pressure underneath it. So essentially what I have to do, and I've checked with a mechanic, I've checked with a friend of mine who knows things, and he'll be here in a little bit actually to help me out. It's actually a fairly easy fix. The folks on vansairforce.com were quite helpful. Apparently this is not an uncommon issue, and essentially what has to happen is inside here, behind this panel on the inside, this connecting rod, which is down way too far at the moment, I have to remove everything from the back, take out the panel to expose the other end of this connecting rod, disconnect the rod. That'll allow the flap to just flop down freely, and once I can alleviate the pressure right here, basically you just kind of squish down on the leading edge of the flap, get it back underneath, back up into position, reattach, and I should be good to go. Except it doesn't tell me why it happened. If there's a problem with the alignment and this flap is going down too far, well, then I have a bigger problem that's going to take a little bit more time and hopefully not expense, but a little bit more time and energy to figure out. If I ignored the don't step sign, and again, I have no memory of doing it, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. As I was unloading the plane last time, I may have pressed down on this, the flap, and caused it to, I guess, hyperextend, if that's the right word, and to extend out too far and sit where it is. Luckily, I didn't try to put the flaps up. If I had, I could have either damaged the motor, damaged anything in the linkage, and without doubt would have damaged the wing skin, because if this tried to go back up, I'd probably be looking at replacing these wing skins. So that's what I'm in for today. I'm going to try to get all this taken apart and get the cover off, get everything out from behind the seats, remove the pilot side seat, and we'll get at it. One of the good things about Vans that at first I wasn't really a big fan of is the piano hinge concept. In order for me to take out the seat, basically I just lift off the bottom side of the seat, which is just cushions with Velcro on the bottom. And then underneath, that exposes these piano hinges. And you just simply slide out the two bars from the hinge, and then the seat comes right out. So what I have to get at is this panel right here. This is actually the flap rod, and it goes into this triangular area here, which houses the flap motor mechanism. So I need to take this panel off, and that'll expose what I need to get at. Okay, so here you can see I've exposed removed the panel and exposed the flap mechanism and a connecting rod that goes down through the fuselage and connects to the actual flap itself. Luckily, nothing looks damaged so far. Hoping that's going to continue. So I have to remove this through bolt and nut, and that should release the flap and let it drop freely. It's a 7/16. I don't have two 7/16 wrenches, but I do have one and a vice grips, and we'll go from there. Can't imagine that this is making for very good video, but it does show part of the process of owning. And although I feel this is a very unusual thing, apparently it's quite common. See if I can do this without dropping the nut. And it's actually a little too long, so I'm going to have to wedge the nut in a little bit and attack it again. Hi, so I was out here a couple of days ago doing a somewhat emergency repair to my flaps, and where I last left off, I had the panel off and I was just disconnecting the bell crank to drop the flap to try to do the repair. And then before I knew it, I stopped recording and I was going for a different tool, and before you knew it, it was fixed. It literally took about 5 minutes from the time I disconnected the flap to the time where it's actually back in a state of repair. So as we can see, it's back underneath where it's supposed to be. I've done a test flight. I've been putting the flaps up and down over and over again just to make sure that it wasn't an alignment issue, that it wasn't something bent or out of place. And I guess it kind of confirms that it must have been me, that when I was unloading the plane, I must have put too much pressure here or stepped on it when I was kneeling on the wing. I don't know. All I know is it was broken and now it's not. So unfortunately, I thought about replicating it and dropping the flap and show how it actually goes back in together, but I'm lazy and I didn't. So at least it was a simple repair. It was much worse looking than it actually was, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. But hey, if there's any other RV owners out there that experience the same thing, don't fret, because it actually was a fairly simple repair. And that's it for this unexpected repair. And now it's time to wash the plane. It's absolutely filthy.